Welcome back to Peace, Love and Tarot. This reading is for Leo, Sun, Moon or Rising, and it's a weekly reading for the week of August 12th to the 18th. Your cards this week, Leo: energies leaving, completing or transitioning. You have the World. Focus energies this week, you have the Moon, clarified with Starseed, and we have the Four of Cups coming in towards the end of the week. So Leo, this is really, really powerful stuff. Starseed is equivalent to the Fool in the Rider deck. So we have really, really strong endings and beginnings here. It's like the perfect kind of bookends here with the last card of the tarot deck. And then, the Fool, which is card 0, or it can slot in anywhere. So really strong, strong, strong new beginning energy. So let's look at the recent past. First, we have the World that came out with the Empress. I mean, what a combination here, Leo. So the World indicates that you are basically completing a cycle, and not just sort of, any old thing. We're not talking like a small task or something like that. We're actually talking like a chapter of life, like something big coming to completion. So it could be a situation where you're really aware that karmic contract is complete. You've got the learning that you needed from it. The situation is complete. There's nothing left to give or receive, and therefore it's time to cut the cord, cut the energetic cord. It could be a job that you've been in for a long time. You've been very passionate about it. You've made a lot of friends there, but you're just no longer getting the growth in that, and you know that that's complete and it's now time to move on. So it's really about it is a card of victory and celebration as well, because it really says that you've arrived, and you're really, really ready to step into a whole new chapter, a whole new, karmic cycle. Because that's what we have here with the Empress. She is such a strong character of promise, of very, very bright new beginnings. So the Empress literally births things. She brings things into manifestation. So it's sort of saying, as one door closes here under the World energy, the Empress is here ready to birth your new chapter for you, to bring you that promise. And at number 3 here, 3 is the number of manifestations beginning. So she really is like that. She's the promise of the bright new future that is to come. She's like just abundant with fertility. She wears the cloak with the pomegranate on here. She's literally ready to bring something in for you. What that is, well, that I'm unsure. It's a general reading, but it could be that new job. It could be that relationship. It can even be physical birth, actually having a baby. It can just be like a move and starting a new life somewhere. It's really that promise of, and it's the promise of that in that new start, that it will be really, really abundant. It's such a beautiful, beautiful energy, the Empress, and it ties in so well with the Fool energy here. But let's just address the Moon here first, Leo. So the Moon really can be about a state of confusion. I'm feeling a little bit of that here, because sometimes when a cycle ends, there can be that confusion of well, what now, where to? And under the Fool energy here, the Fool is about taking the first tentative steps on a new journey without really knowing what the destination is, without knowing what the result will be, without knowing where the end point is. So the Moon can be that kind of energy that comes up to sort of make you feel that sense of being at a crossroads, really, and knowing which way to go. It can also indicate hard decisions, because as we know, even though the World is a very beautiful card of completion, it's not always easy to complete a cycle. Like sometimes we grieve for the past, sometimes we're tempted to hang on to the past for too long. But everything is saying here, Leo, karmically, that it is the right predestined time for you to move on, to transition, for your growth, for the evolution of your soul. The Moon can talk about integrating both the wild and tame parts of yourself and sort of bringing them in unity, because from there, from that, with yourself integrated, that's really the best place for you to actually move on from. The Moon can also, talk about moving out of a darker time into something much brighter. into a bright new beginning, to letting go of anything that might have been a bit of an illusion, even a deception. Was there a situation that you weren't quite seeing for exactly what it was? Maybe that's the situation that you're completing. That can be the moon energy. The moon, we want to sort of move into kind of, star and sun energy. We want to increase the light. We want to increase the brightness. So it's about getting clarity on the past, seeing things for what they are, so then you can move on from an informed perspective. And Starseed here, Leo, the biggest card of fresh starts, of new beginnings, and coupled with the Empress, I mean, this is just everything lined up for you to basically start that new journey. And, the Fool, the Fool is somebody who just takes their necessary belongings with them into the new chapter. They're not going to hang on to the past. They're going to release the confusion and the illusion of the past, and they're just going to carry on with a light load. They're not worried about, the destination of where they're heading, but they're having hope and trust and faith in the universe that this is the way for them to turn, because they know that the past situation was complete, and even if it's not easy to let go, that the time is right to move on. That's the message with the Fool. It's very, very strong, new energy there. Both the Fool and the Moon talk about tuning into your instincts, trusting those, and using that as a tool to help you move forward. So, listen to that inner voice, listen to your higher self, watch out for synchronicities and intuition and that type of thing, because there can all be little clues, little signs from Spirit about your new direction. And Spirit talks to us in the gaps in between, in the quietness. So maybe try and, go for a walk without any music this week. Take some time to meditate. Just, sit quietly with yourself. Really sort of tune into the space and see what messages are there. Now, towards the end of the week, we have the Four of Cups, which came out with the Ten of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So, yeah, I feel like this Four of Cups here could be something from this past situation kind of coming back in to sort of tempt you and sort of say, hey, you sure you're really done with that? If you're completing a relationship, it could be an apology from the other person, could be a new offer of love. They might be bartering with you to get you to stay. If you're trying to leave a work situation, it could be your boss or, coming into you and say, well, we'll just give you this little bit of a pay rise. Is that enough to make you stay? You can have these responsibilities. Is that enough to make you stay? But you really need to decide, whether you're complete and ready to move on. And I think that, the universe is saying that it really is the time for you to do that. I don't think you're going to accept any of these offers. This person here is quite sort of detached from them. And I think, by the end of the week, you're very clear on your decision, and, it's not going to, no one's going to be able to come in with an offer for you, because, you're really sort of wanting to move into a place of greater balance, a place of greater abundance as well. The 10 of Pentacles and 6 of Pentacles, somebody who is really seeking greater sense of happiness, of material success. And I think that's what you'll find in your new chapter, Leo. You're coming into a greater place of balance, so that from there, you can actually attract in the situations and the people that are going to lead to these, this 10 of Pentacles energy for you. Because the 10 of Pentacles is about having it all, really, having the lot in a material sense. It also talks about, having family, generational living, having the pets, the home, enough money, that kind of thing. This is where you're heading, and that's why, you hear the call. You hear the call from the universe when a situation is complete, and move on when the time is right. Because sometimes we have to kind of, keep moving on in a situation, climbing the ladder, climbing that mountain to get to the peak, which is that 10 of Pentacles. So beautiful reading there, Leo. Such a strong new beginning coming in for you. So, please let the past complete, and and just be really, really excited about that fresh new start. So Leo, that's what I have for you. I hope it resonated for some of you, keeping in mind it's a general reading, so it won't resonate for everyone. And I'll see you again next week for another reading.